could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Let me just be honest with y'all real quick. Originally, I was pretty outraged directly about this story, and then I saw the video and I read the article. So let me just read that to you, and then after this, you can hear um, a little bit of the news report. They said a woman who allegedly demanded reparations at a Ohio Target checkout line was punched in the face by a security guard and placed under arrest. Quote, "This is my Rosa Parks moment," that was stated by 37-year-old Karen Ivory, who told police officers this after she was confronted inside of a Blue Ash Target last year. Ivory's explanation to police came after a dramatic scene played out in the store where she attempted to pay for her $1,000 grocery bill by demanding reparations from the store manager. According to a police report, Ivory asked the Target cashier to speak with the manager when checking out the groceries, bringing up reparations several times. During their encounter, when the manager arrived, Ivory asked for reparations before becoming angry and walking aggressively towards the manager. Quote, "Ivory kept berating her about reparations and her privileged life while walking towards the manager. Zach Cotter, a 28-year-old loss prevention officer, then approached Ivory to try and defuse the situation, asked the irate customer to calm down and leave the store, but the loss prevention officer's intervention only led to Ivory becoming more angry, with the screaming customer allegedly following Cotter to his office. When Cotter tried to shut the door to his office behind him, Ivory followed and forced her way in, resulting in the loss prevention officer throwing a punch that landed squarely on the customer's face. Surveillance footage of the altercation shows the moment Cotter landed the punch, which caused Ivory to fall to the floor. Police arriving at the scene reviewed the footage and determined that Ivory was the aggressor in the situation and placed her under arrest. Quote, "Ivory was confrontational with officers on the scene and didn't want to explain her actions." Body cam footage from Ivory's interaction with police captured the customer comparing her situation to Rosa Parks, telling officers she was summoning the manager so we could have a large conversation about how money works and how the provisions work and how it's been working in our community in a very wrong way. Ivory was eventually sentenced to 1 day in jail and fined $110 for disorderly conduct.
Decided to take a stand. This is my Rosa Parks moment, dude. Don't play with me.
That is what Ivory told officers when they arrived to the scene on October 22nd of last year. Before the punch, Ivory was checking out a Target in Blue Ash with more than $1,000 worth of items. When it came time to pay, court documents state Ivory told Target employees that she didn't have enough money and that the manager should contact corporate to comp the bill because of, quote, reparations. But then things took a turn. You can see from this security camera, Ivory face to face with the store manager before security ran to intervene.
You chased the one employee all the way to the front, okay? You made contact with her body by pushing your body into hers. I just watched it clear as day on the video.
Okay.
The court documents go on to state that employees told Ivory the store could not give her the items for free, which upset her. Allegedly, Ivory followed the employee to his office and forced her way in. That's when the employee says he feared for his safety and punched Ivory.
He then came out and you followed him all the way back here,
Okay.
making him fear for his safety. You backed him into an office and you got hit in the face and you are going to get arrested, okay?
For him hitting me, I'm clearing this up.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, that night in October, Ivory was placed into handcuffs and placed under arrest, but then in December, she was convicted of disorderly conduct.
You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know what to tell y'all. The main thing I've told people before is that, hey, don't be following people, don't be trailing people. Nowhere in the article, nowhere in any police statements or anything like that did anybody state that they said something racially charged, that they insinuated something racially charged, that they called her directly out of her name, any type of derogatory terms that were used to specifically women or anything like that. So now that we got all of that out the way, because some people like to say, well, what really did they actually say? I can't really read their lips. Maybe they said something to antagonize her or a different thing. People just happen to throw any type of deflection out there, right? Especially when you have stuff like this and there's no way to body block for the person's actions. Number one, nowhere at a point in time, that you don't got no money, but you decide that you're going to come up to a target, you're going to come up to a business and then request that they owe you reparations and that, they're going to pay this back and they'll just, take it directly off of that card. Ma'am, you're smoking rocks. I'm just going to be 1,000% with you. You are completely smoking rocks. I wish I could go to a restaurant, any restaurant that I want to, right? The most expensive as an expensive restaurant, and have some Wagyu, type of steak, and then have like some shredded gold directly on there, some truffles, some truffle butter, a different thing, right? And having some, some mashed potatoes from like Ireland or something that take, some months to actually grow, directly on a plate. Then some rare type of like asparagus with, some type of grass fed pure butter, smothered all over that stuff, right? And then I'm like, you know what, this was a good dinner. Charge it to the game. Because I ain't paying for this. You guys have been doing, so many things in this country. Reparations. Cut that check. That's how we want to pay this right now. And then decide to walk out. That'll be considered theft. That will be considered theft. That will be considered a crime. And guess what? It'll be considered stealing because you basically took something knowingly that in your right mind that you weren't going to pay for, that you felt you have no obligations to pay for it, that that you don't even have the money to pay for, and then you're going to still come there and eat it, and then state that charge it to the game, charge it to the reparations, charge it to the country. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. It's not how that works. And then on top of doing that, then you want to talk to a female employee at Target. And we can all see that the woman has her hands up and that she is backing up because the black woman there keeps inching and inching and inching closer directly in her personal space. That now we all know that if this was us, right, and we had one of our own people walking closer and closer and closer into our personal space, somebody going to start swinging because you're getting a little bit too close, right? A little bit too close. But due to the fact that it's the whole reverse, you clearly see what's taking place here. The woman is having her hands up. She's like, hey, I'm not combative. I'm not trying to antagonize you. I'm backing away from the situation. You keep backing directly up towards me. At any moment in time that a person happens to get into your personal space, what were we all taught to do? We were all taught to fight back. We were taught to get those people directly out of our personal space because you have no right to somebody else's personal space. And we all know what would have happened if that woman would have swung on that black woman. People would have been crying, talking about racism, talking about America, talking about this, talking about that, but not paying attention and don't want to hold that woman accountable for her actions, which would have led to that, right, occurring. So then after that took place, loss prevention then came in, tried to, I guess, de-escalate the situation. Not sure what he said. Frankly, don't even care at this moment in time. All that we do know is that she decided to go directly back there with loss prevention. And then she proceeded, as he was walking to his desk, she proceeded to still follow and walk towards him, the same exact thing that she did to the woman in the front. And he was like, oh, we're not doing this here. I'm going to defend myself. Right? Now, I'm going to state this. At no point in time, if he would have decided to just push her down, if he would have decided to do exactly what he did or whatever else it was, people are still going to have a problem with it. People are going to still sit up there and say, oh, it's racist, it's this, it's that, it's third, all this other type of stuff. The main point that I'm trying to sit up there and bring up is that at no point in time did this black woman have a son, a brother, a husband, or anything like that with her. But yet she still decided to commit to certain types of actions, which led to her being in the circumstances that she is in at this moment in time. What did the woman say when the officers questioned her about everything that happened? She said, "You're not going to mess around with me. This is my Rosa Parks moment. I've never heard anything like this in my life. In my life. Even if I potentially wanted to attempt to try to find an excuse or try to deflect or try to try to find a way to defend this, there is no way that I'm going to sit up here and allow somebody to, in a sense, make light or joke of a historical figure that is a part of Black history. Somebody that actually had, for all intents and purposes, at least dealing with those times, their life on the line. Where we all know that what it is that they did could have ended very, very badly for them. And also, I want to note for those out there that's going to write in the comment section, but oh, Rosa Parks wasn't the first one to sit down. Yeah, we know Rosa Parks. Well, for some of us, we know that Rosa Parks wasn't the first one to sit down. It was actually a young Black woman that was pregnant. From my recollection, that was the first one that actually sat in that place, and then they opted to remove her and to put Rosa Parks there. Like I said, I didn't heard the stories and different things of that nature. So y'all can fight about that in the comment section if y'all want to. I'm not really here for that. The main thing that I'm stating is that she decided to take these initial actions knowing that she had no type of protection, no type of backup, and this is exactly what it looks like. This is exactly what transpired. All of this is a culmination of her own actions, of what it is that she specifically wanted to do. Now, I'm pretty sure some people also might say in the comment section, but yo, Seiji, you're really helping out, the white people with this and trying to sit up there and place the blame all on Black people. For all we know, she could be mentally ill and all this other type of stuff. Look at what they say about their own people and, different things of that nature. They come up with excuses and deflections all the time. We need to do the same exact thing and stay on code to do the exact same thing for our people. And to that, I state, how many more times are you going to allow and give excuses and deflections when it deals with somebody who is fully within their mental faculties and they willfully go into an establishment or they willfully commit these different types of acts, knowing the outcome is going to be something negative, knowing the outcome is not going to be anything favorable, knowing the outcome is going to lead to Black people, in a sense, having to jump up and try to defend because of the optics of specifically what it is that takes place, instead of looking at the actions of the individual who put themselves in that circumstance. Because let me tell you this, if this woman would have opted to just stay home, this would have never have taken place. If this woman would have just opted to just buy the things that she needs and just pay for those things and leave directly out the store, this would have never have taken place. Better yet, if she would have potentially also went to a website such as WeBuyBlack.com and ordered the things that she needed, I promise you, this would not have been a conversation about reparations, and she would not be arrested, nor would she have had to face any physical altercations at this moment in time. But like I said before, Black people will make the decisions that they want to make. Black people will make the choices that they want to make. And also, Black people have to suffer the consequences of those actions and those choices once they commit to those.